finally get to baking today. I just recorded all those videos of stuff just because I had taken everything out of the cabinet to find something, and then I didn't want to pull it all back without actually accomplishing something. So now I get to finally bake something. This is going to be a complete experiment because I had some strawberries left in the refrigerator that were kind of, shall we say, developing a social stratus of their own. It's probably a funnier way to say that, but I'm tired now. So basically what I did was I chopped them all up and I buried them in brown sugar because they will stop withering and getting moldy or whatever. And I was going to actually have them for dessert, just moving them around. I know they look kind of scary, but a friend of mine turned them into having, you dip them in sour cream and then you dip them in brown sugar the other way around, or sometimes I just throw it all in a bowl. However, I'm not supposed to do that anymore. So they're going to end up, we're going to have strawberry brown sugar and sour cream scone. So I'm going to use the sour cream in place of milk, and I don't know, I mean, it's probably, say, a half a cup of strawberries in there, and I think I threw on like a quarter cup of, I don't know, it's all liquefied and it's all syrupy, so it's kind of hard to measure. But essentially, it doesn't really matter, because when I get to the part where I'm adding the fluid, I can judge how much fluid to add. So it's kind of like it doesn't matter what fluid is in there. It's all strawberry syrup. It's all good. But we got some more brown sugar just in case. White sugar is here for the next video. So I'm going to start with, and we've got to get to break in one of my new pastry cutters and see if it makes me go screaming or if it works. And I'm really paranoid about the stuff getting stuck and having to wipe it off all the time. I am so much speedier with that. But we're going to try it because you're supposed to, right? That's what you're supposed to use. Or your fingers if your hands are cold, but mine don't work like that. So basically that's it's summer in Maine, so I put these in the fridge, and yeah, they should be fine. They're not frozen or anything. This is actually what you're supposed to be doing with them. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my third, and I'm gonna have strawberry, brown sugar, sour cream. I've been trying, experimenting with the sour cream to see if it's worth doing. I mean, it sounds great, and it does give it a little bit fluffier texture, which is kind of, would be great for biscuits, but it's kind of like if you put something in the recipe and it doesn't make a difference, oh, it's sour cream in the scones, but you can't really taste it and it doesn't really do anything. No, I think it actually did have a good flavor. I did a sour cream and dill, I think. That was 3, right? And that's 1. Alright, so so far so good on that. These strawberries aren't really chopped up enough to go in here, so we actually may end up using this to begin with, but let's, I didn't know I was going to be putting them in a scone. So, throw those in. Oh, I should have chopped it up more, shouldn't I have? See? I don't even know how to use this. Such a dope. Yeah, that would have been better if I had done it right and cubed the butter. This is what I hate. But I should have had the extra step, which is dice up the butter and then put it in, and then use this later on. So who knows, maybe there's a trick to it that I just don't know, because I used to have the other kind with the blades. I hated that one because I had to keep cleaning the butter out from between the blades. Maybe it has to do with how much stuff is in the bowl. Maybe if there's too much stuff in the bowl, the blades don't push all the way through, but then they creep up the sides. Okay, I'm gonna go looking on YouTube and see if there's a trick to this. But I mean, it does keep your hands well away from the butter, so that's a plus for some people. I went eBay shopping late one night. It's just always dangerous. And looking to see what was out there, and I decided on think it's done yet. I decided which one I wanted. The wire one that they still make these days, made in China, of course, and no offense, people from China, but it's more of the things are more of a disposable nature, which is fine for somebody who doesn't use this very often. And also, I didn't like the design. The new design has a little thumb thing. And my hands aren't that big. I don't need the thumb thing. It's just another thing to clean. So I went looking for the other wire ones, and I found vintage ones, which I don't even think are that vintage. You're probably no more than 20 years old. This one has a wooden plastic handle, and I have another one with a wooden handle because I forgot I ordered the first one and I ordered another one. Oh, like you've never done that. Okay, so that's all done and good, and we're gonna put this in and see how sweet it is, and then how much. I think I'm gonna have to add a little bit more brown sugar, and those strawberries are definitely not chopped up enough. I suppose I could put them out on a plate and chop them up. They're very squishy. What did I do? Yeah, let's make a mess. Bye, guys. Okay, let's get the strawberries out. You can't put them in this big. Things have to be. Like I said, the size of a raisin is fine, because anything bigger, what's going to happen is there's too much surface, and the scones will fall apart when you go to eat them. They will. So that is the yummiest stuff. It's brown sugar, and I want to lick my fingers. I will look at when you're not looking. Okay, so, and I also didn't hit them very well. That was stupid of me. Anyways, I was in a panic because they were going over to the dark side, and I was like, what can I do with them besides stand over here over the sink and eat them? So I just bury them in brown sugar, which is kind of what I do to zest that are left over, like 2 tablespoon of zest, or a bit of zest, and I don't want to throw it away. I would bury it in sugar. I'm going to use the sugar with sugar anyway. So I bury it in a little bowl of sugar and come back around and use it later. Okay, we're getting there. I mean, seriously, I was just going to have a bowl of these covered in brown sugar and some sour cream dolloped on top for dinner. Because sometimes I have to use up the sour cream. Sometimes when you're cooking small batches, you're cooking one person, you're like, oh, am I going to use all that sour cream? Probably not. Okay, you get these 2 pits. Spinach. Alright, that's about right. Like I said, this is an experiment. I'm probably going to eat one and give the other 2 away, the other 3 away. I really want to lick my finger. I have no idea. Okay, so let's put our strawberries in the bowl. And it doesn't matter. We're going to use this plate to mold it anyway. And we may not even use sour cream, but because all the strawberry juice is mixed up with all the brown sugar, and we may not need any brown sugar either. There we go. I mean, it's just the juice that would have been on the fresh strawberries. Okay, so there's that. And there's that. And I'm going to sink. And I know I didn't put much sugar on sugar. So I think what I'm going to add is 1, 2, 3 oversized teaspoons. 3 teaspoons and a tablespoon, so it was probably a tablespoon and a bit more. Our oven is keeping track with us. All right, and that's not too fluidy enough, but we can get some sour cream in this without it becoming a soup. I mean, if you ever, accidentally, on purpose, add more fluid than you need, don't go crazy and add like double everything to make up for it. Just put it in a bigger pan, and bake it and lower the temperature. Just turn it into a quick bread. There's your answer. I'm collecting photographs of all my mistakes. Things that I burned, things I put too much of this, too much of that. Like there's a picture online of the, cookies. This one doesn't have this one has, it's a wonderful picture because it's like, oh, that's what I did wrong. So, like I said, if you accidentally add way too much flour, just put it in a bread pan. Put it in something else. Don't throw it away and start over. Don't start tweaking it, because what happens is if you add more flour, it'll get tough because you haven't added more of the butter or more of the baking powder. So it's sort of like, where can you adjust it? Yeah, I mean, you could double the entire recipe and start over. But that's where the madness lies. Twice as many scones is twice as many I would have to eat. Okay, so it is very fluid. I want to get some sour cream in there. What the heck? Well, we're going to put some in, regardless, just because I had planned to. Okay, this is a teaspoon again, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3 oversized ones, so that's probably a quarter cup. I want to dirty the quarter cup. Okay. Yeah, now if I was using, I could use the biscuit cutter for this, because if I was using this thing, I would be forever cleaning the tines. This is just not appropriate for that. I mean, that really just has kind of one thing. It's combining shortening or butter in flour. It's kind of the only thing it does. I really don't like single-use devices, but if it's a device that does it better than any substitute device, then you really want to use it. Yeah, it's a little stickier than I would have liked. I really wanted to see if the sour cream brought something to the party, because I know that the brown sugar and the strawberry would get along and they would enjoy each other tremendously. Now it's a very sticky dough, so I'm going to really flour the crap out of the exterior and my hands. I'm not going to put that anywhere there. I know, I washed the table a million times. I won't hurt to wash it again. I know I'm resisting the urge to use my favorite thing. It's like Sweeney Todd. Now my hand is complete. Yeah, I'm not putting the flour all the way through. I'm just kind of putting it on the outside so I can get it out of the bowl. This would be ideal if I was baking this in a cake pan, a layer cake pan. I probably should have done that anyway, because layer cake pan doesn't have to be preheated. I could just mold it into the pan. But my 8, I don't like. I should try it in the 6. The 8 inches is bigger than the. That's another video for another time that I did. The 8-inch layer pan is different shape than an 8-inch cast iron. The flare in the cast iron creates a different scone shape, so it doesn't rise as much. It turns out fine. I mean, I've done it both ways. I mean, it turns out fine. It's just I probably should do it in that one. This is so. Okay, I put it back in the bowl. I added more flour to it. I was gonna not use this video because it was like, wow, but shit happens. So I've added more flour to the exterior, not really all the way through, so if I break it open, it'll still be sticky. But it was just gonna come out like a quick bread. I mean, the whole name of the game right now is scones, so let's get our pan out. Get our trivet, which is going to be hot, remind me, I gotta get some non-metal trivets. I know, you can skip the whole plate if it's a sticky one. And I just do it right in the pan. Oh, I didn't flour this, so I have strawberries hanging on. Okay, so we have this. Oh, I probably should put brown sugar. It doesn't really matter. It just the sugar on top caramelizes, and it just gives a little bit of a crunch. And with a brown dough, it tells me it browns differently, so it tells me it's done. I'm gonna put that in. Not burn my hand for 15 minutes. And I'll clean up and I'll see you then. Thank you. Okay, we took our brown sugar strawberry out of the oven. And here's my, just in case it sticks. Now see, it's a little bit browner. That's the brown sugar. So how would you be able to tell if it had cooked? This is another one, wet dough. So basically it's in the oven until the center, when pushed on, doesn't look wet. Because that means, it'll still be moist inside. But that should mean that it's cooked all the way through. Oh, my right hand's not out. Nope, one side's going up. This side's still sticky. It's probably still damp in the middle, but we're going to let it cool to at least room temperature. Not that they're not great warm. I mean, hell, I would take my scones warm, put them in a bowl, but now it's gonna need shortcake. It's gonna use it with a spoon, fork, put some whipped cream, put some ice cream, put some syrup. Knock yourself out. But once it's cool, it'll be that lovely scone texture. Bottom, oops, there's our strawberry culprit. Shh, don't tell. Oh, somebody's gonna stick. Uh-oh, that's for the cook. Okay, I'm gonna let all the steam come out. You don't have to separate it. Once it's cool, it'll separate on its own. And that's gonna sit there, and I'll put it in a lovely picture. Thank you for watching.